I would request Madam Romina to please take your seat. Dr. Abhi Suleri Saab, Dr. Rajan Saab. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. With your permission, Honorable Speaker, sir, may I start the proceedings? Welcome to this evening plenary, which has been hosted by Honorable Speaker Saab here. And he's here just to greet you and meet you, and he will speak on this occasion as well. With this brief ceremony, I would request now Honorable Romina Khurshid Alam Sahiba, Minister of State, Special Assistant to the Prime Minister, and Convener Parliamentary Task Force on SDG for her remarks. Over to you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Speaker, different from the honorable members, MPs, ministers from the different countries from the Asia Pacific region, Mr. Abid Qayyum Suleri, Mr. Rajan, and all the honorable dignitaries, my fellow colleagues from the Parliament and Senate, and the media persons, everybody, and especially those people who are attending this ceremony online, my warmest regards and wishes to you all. First of all, I would really thankful to those all members who came across from the globe. They came over here to be our guests. It's really great honor to host you all over here in our country. And it's great to see you here. And I believe that the parliamentarians and those people who are coming over here, that we are the ones who can play a great pivotal role among the countries as being a bridge, because we are the ones who can build a bridge among our countries, and we can come out with the solutions. Because of course, we all know there are so many issues. And well, as talking about the SDGs, I would really want to share these thoughts, because recently, as we all know, that we are going through with a great disaster, climate disaster, the floods. In that note, I would really like to share and want to congratulate Honorable Speaker that in the very beginning, when it happens, Honorable Speaker has taken the initiative, and we have hosted the IPU Regional Asia Pacific Seminar in Pakistan. In the Parliament, which we have taken the initiative, and we got the success that we have got the success, and we have put that thing into the General Assembly agenda, where we got the success. Although there were two issues, major issues, Russia and Ukraine war, and then the issue of the floods. But in the COP27, the biggest success, I believe, the credit first of all goes to Honorable Speaker and the Parliament of Pakistan, who has taken that initiative and talked about the losses and damages, that we don't want aid. We want that to compensate us. So this note, because I believe Asia Pacific region is the most important region, that where we all need to stand for each other. We need to work for us. We need to stand up for each other because our issues are very much same. Because what's going in Pakistan, it's not going to remain in Pakistan. It could go on, unfortunately. So I think this is the main time, or this is the high time, that where we all specifically, I would really like to congratulate Mr. Abid Qayyum Suleri, SDPI, and all the members, all the partners who have been the partner in this all conference. But I believe, and that I would request, SCAP, that it's a great need that we need to engage more the parliamentarians of this region, where they can come up with the pressure group and we can talk about our issues, because our issues are very much same. We all are suffering with the vulnerability of the climate change, calamities, and so many things which are very much on the same thing. So for that, I believe that this region, if EU and other countries, they can come up a lot other than their political difference or other issues, if they can be together, why not this region? So I believe in the map of the world, if we go through with the Asia region Pacific, and we'll see how much important, I believe we are the heart in the world. So this heart needs to work. We need to open up the vessels which are somehow being blocked, and we need to be together, because I believe togetherness is the strength. With this note, thank you so very much. And once again, I thank Honorable Speaker, and I would really like to share on behalf of the Speaker that SDG Secretariat, which is properly dedicated of the Parliament of Pakistan, dedicatedly working on SDGs, we are heartily would love to share our knowledge and expertise with other countries. We would like to work along with each other. For that note, we are very much welcome our other fellow parliamentarians from the other region. Thank you so very much. Have a great evening. Thank you so much. Jazakallah.
Thank you, Madam Romina, for the welcome remarks. Now I will request Dr. Abid Qayyum Suleri, Executive Director, SDPI, to introduce the 25th SDC by SDPI. Over to you, Dr. Abid.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shafqat Munir. Honorable Speaker, National Assembly, respected parliamentarians, dignitaries from other South Asia and Southwest Asian region, guests, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, Assalamu alaikum, namaste. It's indeed a great honor to host you on behalf of Speaker Saab this night. This dinner is being hosted by Speaker National Assembly. Speaker actually wanted to host us and invite us in the Parliament House itself. But because of our parallel sessions that are going on here, one on economy, which is right now our SCPM Tariq Bajwa, he's chairing it, and the second on social protection, where our Minister for Social Protection, Shazia Mari, she's chairing in the other hall. So we made a special request that if Speaker can join and grace the event through his participation here. And I'm thankful to you, Honorable Speaker, for honoring us. It's indeed a great honor. For my international guest, I must also mention that Speaker National Assembly, he's a veteran parliamentarian. He is the former Prime Minister of Pakistan, and currently he's serving as Speaker of National Assembly, and he always likes South-South cooperation. Even during his premiership, he promoted the cooperation among southern countries. And I think today his presence here is a sort of testimony that how much he cares and wants this South-South cooperation to foster, and his patronage of Sustainable Development Goal is always a guidance for us. Now, Honorable Speaker, today we are in the second day of our 25th annual conference, and this year we got the distinction of also hosting UNSCAP, United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia Pacific, their 6th Sustainable Development Forum, along with our conference. And for that forum, Under Secretary General of the United Nations and head of UNSCAP, Dr. Armida Alice Jahabana, she was here yesterday. She flew only for a day, but she had a very eventful day here. And we have a UNSCAP team. Let me also acknowledge the presence of Deputy Finance Minister of Sri Lanka and Deputy Planning Minister of Maldives, who are sitting here tonight. And the whole purpose of this gathering, as you can see, the title of our conference is Sustainable Development in Unusual Times. We know that we are passing through unusual time. In Pakistan, people, they complain about inflation, they complain about recession, they complain about rupee losing its value, etc. But then through this conference, we wanted to discuss that Pakistan is not the only one who is suffering from the CCC crisis, which we are saying, COVID, conflict in Ukraine, and climate change. Yes, one can say that Pakistan, unfortunately, is the unique in a sense that all three, they are melting here. So our export and our trade with the Western partners that got affected by COVID-19 with China and other Western partner. Then due to conflict, we are facing a problem because we are now crowded out when we want to buy LNG because of all the sanctions on Russian and Ukraine supplies. We are facing problem in fertilizer. Again, the whole world is facing problem of availability of fertilizer due to sanctions on Russian gas. And then, unfortunately, we saw the super flood here. So this year there was no spring in Pakistan. It was winter and heat waves and then the flood. So through peer economies and through this UNSCAP, we wanted to discuss that what is the way forward. And one of the thing which is coming up in all the session, that is cooperation and regional connectivity, regional integration, and South-South cooperation, learning from each other. The countries who have a similar socioeconomic condition, perhaps they can learn more from each other's experiences, what worked, what didn't work, what are the mistakes that we shouldn't make, how to go forward from it. And this is Honorable Speaker is not only a talk shop where we are just discussing for the sake of discussions. We have invited and engaged corporate sector here as well, the multinational companies. We have World Bank, the delegates from Washington and from the Pakistan. We have all other bilateral donors and bilateral partners. So Government of Pakistan, bilateral and multilateral development partners, the delegates from other developing countries, civil society, academia. So we feel that no single government or no single country can propose the way forward out of this unusual time. It has to be a collective effort. And in order to join hands, of course, STPI is just one of the convening forum, and it is we are successful because of your patronage and your support, Honorable Speaker, that we are able to convene all the stakeholders. So during these 4 days, we have 350 speakers from 17 countries, and I think this is a great honor for Pakistan to have this congregation of the practitioner, academician, policymakers, friends of sustainable development, and we would compile the recommendations coming from this forum and we'll present it to your secretariat so that those can be adopted by Government of Pakistan, and those can be adopted in the work plan of the Parliament's task force, which is very ably being led by Madam Rumina Khurshid. And I must say that Pakistan's parliament is a unique parliament because we are one of the first countries that adopted sustainable development goals as our national action plan. And we are maybe one of the rare parliaments where we have a dedicated task force comprising of both houses, the lower house as well as upper house, task force on sustainable development goals. And Madam Rumina Khurshid, also special assistant to Prime Minister, she's leading it. So we know that unless and until we engage legislators in the whole business and whole agenda of sustainable development goal, perhaps it would be difficult to materialize many of the policy recommendations that academicians and policy formulators, they keep on giving. And I think this is one of the message that I wanted to give to our UNSCAP colleagues and friends. We need to strengthen the intra and inter-parliamentarian collaborations. The academicians, the policymakers, the development sector, civil society organization, we get ample chances and ample opportunities to talk to each other in conferences and in meetings. But I think legislators, and we need to engage them, that we could have track 1.5 and track 2 meetings of legislators and dedicated forums for legislators in Asia Pacific, so they can talk to each other. They can talk to each other about the legislative successes, what is working, what is not working, what sort of laws needs to be made. And I'll recommend Makiko, the head of UNSCAP, sitting here. She's head of South Asian West Asia office, and Dr. Rajan Ratna, that to take note this as one of our recommendation, that UNSCAP should focus more on building and fostering partnerships among legislators, and that would go a long way in fostering trust among and between countries. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Abid Suleri. Now I would request Dr. Rajan Sudesh Ratna from UNSCAP, Delhi office, to introduce the 6th South and Southwest Asia Forum, which is being simultaneously held with the 25th SDG. Over to you, Dr. Ratna.
Honorable Speaker, sir, Madam Rovina Khurshid, Honorable Parliamentarian, Dr. Abid Suleri, Dr. Safkat, UNSCAP South and Southwest Asia Office Head, Mikiko Tanaka, Honorable Ministers from Maldives and Sri Lanka, and the delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very daunting task which I have been given to introduce while we have not even concluded the session. But Excellency Speaker, sir, I would just like to bring to your attention UNSCAP in the South-Southwest Asia office caters to 10 countries of South and Southwest Asia, starting from Iran and then Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, Maldives, Nepal, etc. Every year we do a multi-stakeholder forum, which is the SDG forum, which we do now, like we are doing it here. And we are indeed grateful for Government of Pakistan and SDPI to partner with us and agreeing for hosting it in Pakistan. And we have all the member states attending this meeting, which is for 3 days. In this 3 days, we are going to discuss a very specific focused SDGs goal 6, which is about clean water and sanitation, SDG 7, which is affordable and clean energy, SDG 9, which is industry, innovation and infrastructure, and then SDG 11, sustainable cities and communities, and the last, which is every year, is goal 17, which is means of implementation. Speaker, sir, while all the moderators of these working groups who have been discussing will be reporting it to the plenary, but we will not have the benefit of you being here. So I take the liberty of giving you some short glimpse of what has been discussed in these 2 days covering these issues. Countries have shared their voluntary national reporting to the in New York in a process, and what they have been doing. They have been discussing about the challenges which they have faced and the way out. Specifically relating to these 4 goals where the discussions have been held, the points which emerged as is especially for South and Southwest Asia, water is a very important input for agriculture as well as power, and that requires a clean water. The second is the stress of the water, which is leading to disbalancing in the ecosystem. And we had a privilege of 2 days ago to go to Nova Shera and see how the floods have affected the water which is underground. It has been polluted, and they say it cannot be, it's not potable, they cannot use it, it's not a clean water. So that's one challenge. Recycling of the wastewater has emerged as one of the discussion points where the countries will need to work on. Looking at energy, the situation of South and Southwest Asia is still glimpse. 11% of the global population is without access to electricity, which belongs to this sub-region. 6% of the global renewable installed capacity is only in this region, so we are much behind. There is a focus which needs to be given on energy efficiency, renewable energy, as well as the connectivity and cross-border electricity trade. Looking into the issues of industry, innovation, and infrastructure, the discussions focused on the challenges which have emanated from COVID. And then it appeared that the countries are back to the track, but again, that has gone into a regression, mostly because of the developed countries, which are the large markets. The export to GDP ratio is less. the GDP growth has been declining, unemployment has been increasing, and therefore the general view which emerged was that on ICT, which is and science, technology, and innovation, and spending on energy infrastructure is important for this. And also, in order to expand the regional value chain and regional trade, most of the countries have their micro, small, and medium enterprises, which are the backbone of the economy, which need to be strengthened, and mostly by the government interventions. So the greater attention need to be given to them. On SDG 11, we talked about sustainable cities. The pressure, which is because of the rural-urban migration, issues also relating to challenges within the migration within the country, which is leading to a lot of conflict and stress. The urbanization and the cities which are still grappling and not able to meet up with the sanitation and other systems are also facing the challenges. On these backgrounds, SCAP has been prescribing for this sub-region a 5-pointer policy, focusing on economic recovery, how to diversify the economy in terms of market, in terms of export production, in terms of local production. Social aspect covering the health and education, including women, is important. They are all facing a lot of challenges. We have talked about disaster and climate change, which needs to be addressed. And also digital skilling, energy, transport, ICT connectivity is important for the sub-region. Lastly, what has come out, and that's what Dr. Suleri said, regional cooperation. That is very, very important. We need to learn from each other rather than reinventing the wheels. And therefore, it is very important that the countries learn from them. This kind of forum is also one such platform where we allow the countries to come share their challenges, identify common challenges, look for the common way out through cooperation, which can help. In this regard, we are privileged to state that SCAP Southwest Asia office has come out 2 years ago. It launched the South Asia Network on SDGs, which has think tanks, which has government, and we would perhaps be happy to have parliamentarians also as a part of our SANS network. And this is where we are also sharing some of the good practices on SDGs. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ratna. After these introductory remarks and also the presentation of summary of the two conferences, now I would request Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, His Excellency Raja Parvez Saab, for his present remarks.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Honorable Romina Khurshid Alam, Special Assistant to the Prime Minister of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Respected Mr. Abid Qayyum Suleri, Executive Director, SDPI. Dr. Rajan Sudesh Ratna, Deputy Head of the South and Southwest Office of UNESCAP, distinguished guests and delegates, parliamentarians, honorable ministers from Sri Lanka and Maldives, Assalamu alaikum, a very good evening. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome delegates from South Asian countries to the 25th Sustainable Development Conference in Islamabad. Thank you, Mr. Abid Suleri, Executive Director of Sustainable Development Policy Institute, and your team for jointly organizing this imperative seminar with SDG's Secretariat, National Assembly. I appreciate UNESCAP for co-organizing such forums in collaboration with member states, stakeholders, and partners since 2017. We are here to develop our priorities on the cluster of goals under HLPF 2023. Our efforts are required to focus on progress in light of the pandemic challenges and regional cooperation in how ESCAP can support the member states. Moreover, I am pleased to note that this conference is also deliberating on the socioeconomic challenges of the South and Southwest Asia region. Also, climate change, hunger, and malnutrition, promoting quality education and decent work for youth, and ensuring equitable access to health are the agenda of this forum. Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a timely opportunity for us to reassess the national and regional strategies towards achieving the SDGs, looking at the unimaginable scale of loss and damage caused by unprecedented climate-induced floods. National Assembly of Pakistan will continue to perform a proactive role through joint endeavors in introducing innovating parliamentary mechanism, the irreparable loss of precious lives and destruction of property, infrastructure, roads, houses, schools, and basic health units by recent flood in Pakistan makes it imperative for the Parliament of Pakistan to support its people. In this context, I look forward to this seminar. Seminar's eloquent and imperative outcome for the benefit and mutual good of all people in the region. Regional cooperation is important to foster in depth and share understanding among stakeholders on strategies and opportunities at country and sub-regional level to accelerate the Agenda 2030 with a special focus on SDGs 6, 7, 9, 11, and 17. Lastly, on behalf of the people of Pakistan and the Parliament of Pakistan, I wish a resounding success to all the learned delegates from the South Asia region, the high-level political forum delegation, all national as well as international dignitaries and area experts attending the 25th Sustainable Development Conference. Long live our continued passion and joint endeavors towards an integrated set of ways forward for the implementation of SDGs, besides the challenges posed by natural calamities, man-made disasters, and the COVID-19 pandemic. I thank you all once again, ladies and gentlemen. Pakistan Zindabad. Thank you. आखिर में जी मैं अपने मीडिया के लिए बात जरूर करूंगा कि आज मुझे अजहद खुशी हासिल हुई है कि एसडीजी सेक्रेटेरिएट ने और जनाब आबिद सुलैरी साहब की कोऑपरेशन से ये जो इस कॉन्फ्रेंस का इनाकाद हुआ है, यकीनी तौर पर इससे हम एक दूसरे के एक्सपीरियंसेस से, एक दूसरे के विजडम से हम बहुत कुछ सीखेंगे। और आज जो दुनिया के हालात हैं, जो दुनिया को चैलेंजेस दरपेश हैं, वो कोई एक मुल्क शायद अकेले उसको जो है वो फेस नहीं कर सकता, उसका कोई हल नहीं निकाल सकता। आज जरूरत इस बात की है कि तमाम बैनुल अक़वामी बरादरी जो है, खास तौर पर रीजनल जो बरादरीज हैं, वो सारी इकट्ठी हों और वो एक दूसरे का हाथ पकड़ें, एक दूसरे से अपने एक्सपीरियंसेस शेयर करें, एक दूसरे के मामलात को देखें, अपने जो उनके तजर्बात हैं वो उनके सामने रखें, ताकि विद कलेक्टिव विजडम कोई उसका एक मैकेनिज्म बनाया जाए, एक लाया अमल जो है वो उसका तैयार किया जाए, ताकि इंसानियत को इस जो तबाही है اس سے اس کو بچایا جائے. اور میں سمجھتا ہوں کہ نیشنل اسمبلی کے جو ہمارے SDGs سیکریٹریٹ ہے, محترمہ رومینہ صاحبہ نے بڑی محنت کے ساتھ اور جناب سلیری صاحب کی کاوشوں سے آج کا یہ فورم ہے. میں توقع کرتا ہوں اس سے کہ آپ کوئی کنکریٹ پروپوزلز جو ہیں وہ سامنے لے کر آئیں گے, اس سے استفادہ کرتے ہوئے ہماری حکومتیں, ہمارے لوگ جو ہیں وہ اپنے لوگوں کی مدد کر سکتے ہیں. اور یہ ایک اچھا طریقہ ہے, ایک صحیح طریقہ ہے کہ ہم تمام ممالک جو ہیں مل کر اس جو ہمارے یہ جو چیلنجز ہیں, بہت بڑا چیلنج ہے. 3.5 کروڑ لوگ جو ہیں آج کھلے آسمان کے نیچے پاکستان میں ہیں. ان کی فصلیں, ان کے مکانات, ان کے باغات, ہر چیز جو ہے وہ پانی میں بہہ گئی. اور جس طرح سلیری صاحب بتا رہے تھے کہ وہ پانی جو ہے وہ جا کے نیچے جو ہے وہ پولوشن کر رہا ہے, جو سب سائل واٹر ہے اس کو خراب کر رہا ہے. تو یہ بہت بڑے چیلنجز ہیں صحت کے لحاظ سے, معاشی لحاظ سے. تو آج معیشت جو ہے وہ پورے, میں سمجھتا ہوں پوری دنیا کی انڈر پریشر, اس پر بڑا دباؤ ہے. تو سب نے, تمام ممالک کے, اور خاص طور پر پارلیمنٹیرینز کے, پارلیمنٹ جو ہے وہ اس میں وہ تو ایک جو ہے وہ پورے ملک کے لوگوں کی ایک دانشگاہ ہے. اور میں سمجھتا ہوں کہ جب وہ لوگ بیٹھ کر سوچیں گے اور ایکسپرٹس ان کی مدد کریں گے تو یقیناً ہم اس قابل ہو سکیں گے کہ موجودہ جو چیلنجز ہیں ان کا مقابلہ کر سکیں. آپ کی بہت مہربانی, آپ کا شکریہ.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker Sahab. Thank you very much for gracing this occasion and hosting all of us. Now, with your permission, sir, may I conclude the session? The session is concluded now, and dinner is served outside, and some of the guests would be here with the Speaker Sahab. Thank you very much for your participation. All the best. Pakistan Zindabad.